like to open the meeting of the Hanson Board of Health of Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. It is now 4 o'clock. The first item on the agenda is for the board to reorganize due to a new member being appointed. Do we have any nominations for chair?
I'll nominate myself for chair. Do you need a second for that?
Yes, we
I
have a
would.
second.
I wasn't sure if you know that's what
I
we're
do,
doing.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Second.
All in favor?
Of the nomination?
Hmm?
Oh, I'm confused. Okay. No,
Yeah.
You made a motion.
I did. I made a motion.
Yeah.
So,
He seconded it.
he
So now we're
seconded it,
going to
now
vote
goes to
on
a
the
vote.
motion.
Correct, goes to a
Okay.
vote.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Aye.
And I.
2-1? 2-1.
I'm an aye, that's fine.
3,
Yeah, 3-0,
3-0.
that's fine.
3-all. Okay, Arlene Diaz is chairman.
And I'd like to nominate Kevin for vice chair.
Second?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm sure you don't want to jump right in.
No, okay, thank you.
You want to do a
Good
clerk
time.
too?
Huh?
Clerk too?
I don't think we,
No, I don't think we.
I don't know if it's
Okay.
necessarily a clerk, I think it's just a third member,
Okay.
but.
Well, yeah, we don't,
Just-
no.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to
Just
have
the
a
chair and
clerk.
vice chair.
But I'm glad that you're here because I have a couple of questions. So, would you want to do the minutes first and then we can have her do her report?
That's probably easiest.
It's fine by me.
That way we're done with the minutes.
Yeah.
Following the
Yeah,
agenda.
you know what,
I don't
that's
know if you saw them or if you just want to abstain because you weren't here.
I would abstain.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
just gonna
all
say, we
right.
can't vote
All
on
right,
it.
so I just need a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for December 12th, 2023 meeting.
I think I can second that.
Mm-hmm. Second the motion, abstain on the vote.
Okay? And then those in favor, Kevin and I,
Aye.
and you're just gonna abstain. Okay, I was just looking at your numbers, and I had a question. Let me see if I can figure out what it was.
Just something not the.
First, let me introduce.
Oh, yeah.
This is our newest member, Peter Butler. This is our public health nurse,
Public health nurse. So
Kimberly
this report
Bombardieri.
that I'm looking at
Great.
is
Bombardier.
all of her information.
Kimberly, what's your last name? I'm sorry.
Bombardier.
Bombardier. Nice to meet you, Pete Butler.
You too.
Diseases. So it looks like definitely in December, the uptick was on coronavirus,
Yeah.
big time
Yeah.
uptick, coronavirus.
And influenza too.
Yep. Something else I was gonna ask you. Which one of these
So-
was it?
For the monthly one that had the year to date, and then
This is the
the
whole
big
year.
one, year to date. So that one, I think, when I was running the reports in Maven, I think if a case is revoked, after investigation, if they revoke it, it does not show up in those numbers, because I believe I didn't get a chance to print it yet, because I believe, the babesiosis, I think, 5 were, sent
but then
out
some
for
were revoked.
acknowledged, and then I think they were revoked after, investigation.
Okay.
Because I think it's one of those that if you test and you're, it's active, you're treated, and then if they draw
Follow-up titer?
yeah, and you'll still be positive, and it will still, so it comes in again, but it's
Oh,
not
okay.
a true case, so.
So this too could really be one person who
No,
was
those
additional?
are the 2 actual, because I think for the year to date, it was either 4 or 5.
Oh,
And then when I
okay.
ran that one, there was only 2. And so, looking into it, they, a couple were revoked.
There was something here that I was trying to figure out which one it was, but, no, I don't remember. But it looks like in the summertime, it's Lyme.
Yeah.
Come July, which pretty much all year, but higher in July, and then, I don't know if you want to take a look at this. Like wonderful diseases around town.
Yeah.
Have you, got in touch with the senior center?
Yes, we've played phone tag a number of times, so, we're hopefully getting together this week. Yeah,
To do the
she
blood
was-
pressure?
She's really busy over
The holiday.
the holidays, through the holidays, so.
She's trying to, we used to, many, many, many years ago, have, VNA clinic that came in and did blood pressure checks like twice a month. And of course, all of that was lost, definitely during the pandemic, and then we didn't have anybody to do it. The agencies were no longer supporting the town, and the reports that we needed, so she's trying to restart that. At least up to.
Did you get my message, Bill, about the?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Nothing came through, like you said, so.
Yeah.
Just the commute thing, so.
So, yeah, I think for December, the only other, between influenza and COVID, we had the one case of salmonella, so.
And that was it.
Yeah.
When you get the salmonella, it doesn't tell you where they were exposed. You just know that they live in here.
No, but, so then I, do the food history, and sometimes they have a pretty good idea of what it is.
Yep.
I'm curious, one question.
Yep.
I've seen these in a heat map where if it's approaching like any kind of public health threat or emergency, it will be indicated. Is that, do we understand any thresholds against the population? What would constitute a threat?
I imagine DPH would let us know, you know, if something was,
Yeah.
they almost don't even look at the Lyme cases anymore, they're so prevalent.
Because it's, once they get rid of the vaccine, which my understanding is it was gonna come back, there was nothing you can do other than tell people to be careful. And even people that are really, really careful will find ticks.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, you don't even have to find the tick, like, you could have been
Anyway,
bitten, and,
That probably happens a lot, I would think.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was bit.
yeah.
and people might not have symptoms for months
Right.
and not realize that they were even bitten.
But yeah, I certainly think if, you know, DPH would definitely call, if there was something to. As far
During the
as, like,
pandemic, they did a lot of those
Yeah.
maps to show you where things were, but
Yeah.
since things have quieted down some.
Like, for, like, the, arbovirus season with, like, there'll be a dashboard on the mass.gov website. Like, right now, there's a respiratory illness website, and you can see where, like, COVID or influenza or RSV is surging. It will tell you the breakdown of the cases, and, but the mass.gov website has some pretty good maps.
I don't have any more questions.
There's a report on Triple E and West Nile virus that DPH puts out too, so.
And we didn't have any positive cases around here,
Very positive.
just mosquitoes, no people.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, right, knock on wood.
It is.
Yeah.
Hope it stays
It is.
that way next year.
I don't know if anybody else has any other questions?
No question.
No?
No, I
Thank
don't
you.
have any questions.
Good to see you.
You too.
Good, thanks a lot.
Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah, you too.
Nice to meet you again.
You too.
Okay.
I know. Don't jinx it.
Next thing on our list is septic plan, which is very, Kevin working on the warrants,
Mhm.
and we'll pass them down, sign them all, we'll send them during the meeting. So, pass it over, he's got something to show you, the electric bill, or stamped, she didn't stamp it.
You have it?
Slacker.
You want me to make my own?
Yes, make your own.
She's very strict about making sure we signed everything,
Mhm.
But I
so we
forgot to
just
stamp
realized she
that
didn't
one.
stamp that page, which
That's
is
never happened before.
never, ever happened.
Should I kick off the signatures on this?
You can start at the bottom and we'll work our way up.
I can't
Do
believe,
those three, and
did
then
I not
we
stamp
get
that whole
the,
package? I'm like losing my mind, maybe.
it's okay, we'll find it.
I'm nervous if it's not on the next one. I'm gonna have to go see. Is it on the next one? Oh,
Fell asleep.
my goodness.
So not like you. She doesn't let us leave until she's checked every page to make sure that they're signed. That's how serious she is. taking that back. Oh, yeah. She's gonna want that back.
I'll stay before. I'll stay before I sign it.
What did she take back? Oh, the plans are there. He said he'll stamp it for you. Thank you. So, do you want to pass that down, Gil?
Oh,
Because I think, I don't know if you got a chance.
Are you going
look at
to,
it, Dan.
I did.
are you gonna,
Don't take it apart yet.
Don't
They don't
take
do
it
anything.
apart.
I'm gonna say,
If they don't do anything with
No.
it, it's gonna
okay,
get all screwed up.
that's what I was just gonna ask, we're gonna just
Just
just leave it as it is? and
messed
just-
up.
I mean, I think
Yes.
it would make sense to open it, go over it, and then the board can do whatever they.
Do you
Yeah,
want
do it.
to, an issue with, wetland remediation?
Not necessarily an issue, it's that
It hasn't been done. It hasn't been
it
delineated.
could be potentially in conservation jurisdiction and it hasn't been delineated. It's not that there's an issue.
Right, we
It's
don't
just
know.
that there's a variable of that, and if the board were to actually take action on that, there's potential that the applicant could have to come back for a revision if something were to change due to
Change on the plan.
conservation complications, correct? But I think
Do you want
to
to
go,
open it?
to go over it, and I mean, I think that makes sense for us to go over it and recognize it, it's on the agenda. We can discuss it, go over the relief they're requesting, and then the board could take whatever action they choose to do. Just my suggestion, but.
Did they ask?
Is there a waiver on that plan?
Wait, huh?
Is there any waivers on
There
that
must
plan?
be a waiver
I
on there if
didn't,
we have.
I didn't, the paperwork I looked at, I didn't really see anything. That's why I'm asking. Saw the reviewer, and I saw that everything that the reviewer asked
They're looking
for
for
was
a
changed
five-
on the plan.
They're looking for a 5-4, and then they're looking for the use of a sieve, so they are requesting one.
Yeah, that was like 3 pages. Where did you find it?
This is the same.
Right here, same thing, exact same thing. Okay, so those are the 2 variances that they're asking for, reduced required groundwater separation.
Do you want me to go over it?
Sure,
Yeah, if you want, I mean,
oh, go ahead, that way, no, I'm
If you
just,
want me to, I will.
I guess we've
All
got a little bit of.
All right, so what we have here is an application for a sewage disposal system for 1006 West Washington Street. It's a repair for, what there is there's 2 existing dwelling units, on the same property. It looks like possibly a 2-family and another single family, total of maybe 3 units. That's what it looks like. So it is a proposed design of 550 gallon per day. There's a total of 5 bedrooms.
That's what I, yeah.
It's a 1,500 gallon tank, meeting the setback off of the foundation with a proposed 1,000 gallon pump chamber, pumping to a distribution box, and 4 rows of, how many chambers? 4 rows of 10 quick floor infiltrator chambers, plastic chambers. So what this applicant is looking for, they're looking for, under local upgrade approval variance request, they're looking for a reduction in groundwater separation from 5 feet required to 4 feet. That's a 1 foot deviation, and then they're also looking for the use of a sieve analysis in lieu of a perk test due to saturated soils, high groundwater. I'm assuming that that is the existing flow of 5 bedrooms, they're not increasing it. And I'm not sure on the review comments, Eileen, that you have on what's been addressed, what hasn't.
No, I think what I saw is that all of this, and some of it I couldn't read because of the way it was copied,
Yeah, and that was the
and
engineer
I figured that.
that wrote
But
that.
all of this stuff, I think we got a second review that said
It's right in front.
it was all done.
Mhm.
Is essentially what I got from that.
Yep, so we have an original submittal date of 10/30/23, a revision date of 12/23/23, and what's the date on that?
This is 12.
12/4.
No, right in front.
That's the first one.
12.
Right in front of it.
Him or me?
No, you. It should be the second page down. Right there. That wasn't it?
No, That says 1/3/28. What was the date you had?
1/3/24 is,
24, that's what it is. And here he's just saying that the plans were reviewed, all comments he had made on the first list
yeah, so,
were included, so.
yeah, but the first review comment page, this one that you had, I believe,
Back
the
here.
original one,
That
that's
one.
12/4. So it looks like
Yes.
it was submitted on 10/30, revised comments on 12/4, revision date of 12/23 on the plan, and that letter of
1/3.
1/3/24 looks like they've been
Yeah.
addressed, with the exception that there's potential concern that this could be in conservation jurisdiction. So that really is, it's not necessarily our concern of jurisdiction, but what it could potentially do is something may have to shift or be modified,
On the plan.
or contours may need to be changed, anything like that. So my opinion is, I think where they can't go forward with this anyway without satisfying conservation to get their sign off anyway, just to prove and have it delineated that they're not within conservation jurisdiction. I don't think they're moving forward regardless, so I don't think we'd be holding them up. So my suggestion would just be to just table it till next meeting. I mean, we've looked at it, and as long as they don't have any issues there, then I have no concerns with it. But I would just hate to, if we took action on this and then they needed to revise it, they're gonna have to
We'll have to go
submit
again.
another application, pay another fee, and it's really not helping them.
So table our decision until we have
Yes.
confirmation from conservation,
Conservation, yeah?
and then make our decision.
Yes.
We're not holding anything up, we're not duplicating.
That's my
Right.
personal suggestion, just so both decisions coincide with one another, rather than ours is, let's just say hypothetically, we approve the relief they're asking for in the plan that's proposed, and they happen to have this delineated,
Mhm.
and now all of a sudden they need to shift this leaching field over this way, or they have to get creative to satisfy and be in compliance with conservation. So now they need to come back in front of us for basically
Right.
a
Another-
modification of
right.
what we just approved. So I'm not saying this in a way to like stop them from what they're trying to do or hold them up. I'm saying it just to make sure that it coincides with what conservation needs to do and what they need to satisfy with them. That's all.
That makes sense, and when we do review this next, we'll then consider the 1 foot difference in elevation and make a decision on the SIP
These
test.
two, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so our decision is, maybe I'll just back up a little bit. So what we had done a while ago was all plans would be submitted to the Board of Health, and the board would act on all plans, even plans that are completely Title V compliant.
Mhm.
So we came to the conclusion that there's no reason to hold an applicant up when you have a plan that meets all of Title V requirements.
Okay.
So that plan would sit and wait until our next meeting. So what we did was we gave the ability that it still needs to go for review, comments need to be addressed. And then what happens is the health agent can sign off and approve those applications that are fully compliant.
Mhm.
So that way people can just keep working, they can go on their merry way. We're not holding anyone up. So only when they're requesting relief from Title V, that's when those decisions come to the board.
Okay.
So we would basically be making that decision, yes, on the groundwater reduction from 5 feet to 4 feet on the leaching field, and then also the use of a sieve analysis. And typically those kind of items are really standard on a repair. From what we see in this town, you typically find high groundwater. Really what it is you're looking at, they're trying to make the best out of what they got. Every once in a while you could have something where someone's, looking to cheat or trying to do something that doesn't make sense, and at that point then you really have to look at it and,
And the
address it.
alternative
But-
would be to bring in tons of fill, and is that necessary?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, and it's not even necessarily the fill to bring that up another foot. It's also the thing you got to take into consideration is the mounding of the system too. That you're going to make it another foot higher. You're changing grading to abutting properties, that kind of stuff. So, and again, you got to look at the alternative. It's like a lot of times you'll have a house that's on an old cesspool, and you get a cesspool that's in the water table, and we're looking to propose a system that's
Right.
4 feet out of it.
Yep.
Right.
So, I mean, it's heading in the right direction.
It's a win, yeah.
Yeah. But that's about the size of it. But that was my input on it. Just that I feel that it would be a good idea to table it. I really feel it would
And
help.
let them-
It would help them. I know it sounds like we're holding them up, but I don't think it's holding them up.
Common sense.
Yeah,
Just my input.
so we will table this.
You want to take a
We
motion?
want to take a vote, or do we need to?
I think it
Table.
would probably be
Yeah,
good
might as
too,
well.
you know. All right, I'll make a motion to table, the application for sewage disposal system repair for 1006 Washington Street until, our next meeting, just to allow time for the applicant to delineate wetlands and confirm that they're out of conservation jurisdiction and or file as needed.
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Yeah, you
Just put 'em all
I,
And you get yelled.
that's right, I've already told him that.
I don't know.
You won't let us leave the room though.
True.
She
don't
doesn't
know
give
if
us
that-
a clip, which is crazy, we're not
No,
gonna
it's
give it
right
back.
there, the clip is right there.
That's because he
These for the report, for the health agent, the health nurse.
Mhm.
Do you want these in here, or do you want them separate? Because they were separate.
No, that's just because Arlene wanted to look at them.
Okay, so you want them back in the signature
Yes,
folder?
please, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to look at the report.
Thank you.
So, other things we wanted to talk about, the contract,
Yeah, so I have copies of the contract. You guys have seen this before, but
yeah.
Just one last question on the last item. Is
Yes.
the next meeting tentatively to 8/24?
We have not determined that, but usually we try to do the second.
If you want
Tuesday.
to, if you want to jump to that, we can,
She's got
at the
dates.
next meeting dates.
Let me see.
that goes right up to the election.
Oh, May. Like in November?
No.
I forget the town. one.
Town meeting.
All right, so, okay, that's the second.
That's taking into account any of holidays or any of that type of stuff.
Right, which is what we usually do. I think these dates all work for me. 13. Yeah,
I missed it too, because I went through.
I've had a lot going on, so.
That's fine.
so, do you want me to read these out and put them in the minutes? So the proposed meetings for the next 4 months, February 13th, March 12th, April 9th, and May 14th, all at 4 p.m.
13th.
March, what was March?
March the 12th, April 9th, and May 14th.
Thank you.
I think we can plan ahead.
Mm.
And then after the May meeting, we can plan for the rest of the year. At some point, I will add these to my phone. Okay, now contract. We've been, I'm trying to think, how long have we had this company? Is it 10? 5,
yeah.
10 years? About 10 years now?
Closing in on, no,
2015.
probably maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah.
Every 10 years, coming up, okay.
And we have, last year, I think we just renewed it for a year.
Correct.
And we probably are gonna need to do that again this year. South Shore Recycling was working on trying to get us better rates from these
Return
companies.
your wall
They hadn't gotten any rates back, when we had our last meeting, so.
Returned your wall calendar?
Yes, because it wasn't what I asked for, and they sent us 2023 for him. And it took us 3 weeks to figure out his was 2023.
We're arguing about a date.
And did they? And did they charge you full price for the 2023?
Yeah, and it had stains all over it too.
She's saying it's the 11th, I'm saying no, it's the 10th. My
I'm
calendar
like,
said
no,
the 10th.
can't you see?
It was
How long did it take you to fix it out?
a couple of minutes there. So we signed a 1-year extension on this before.
And we've done this a couple of times.
Yes, we've done, I suggest doing the same thing. They like to come in and talk about the extension. Jerry Dugan, who usually is the account executive, as you know, waste is really, it's really serious now. It's going to be serious the next few years. So, we can bring him in and, talk about the extension. I think it's, you're dealing with a couple of companies out there that are able to take care of New England right now,
That's
basically.
the
And
problem.
it's hard. you know, I think we have a decent contract, and we do have, we do have a, you know, very well-run transfer station, and, you know, our separation is really, you know, pretty good. So it wouldn't hurt to bring them in and we talk the contract a little bit, maybe get something out of them. I mean, it is transfer station, and, you know, I think, you know, I would say the next month, next meeting, I'd meet, and after that.
Well, it expires March 1st, so it would have to be.
Yeah, they'd have to,
February.
I was gonna ask about the rates. Have they been,
They've been good on the rates, they're billing properly.
okay, in the past, at one point, they decided they needed more money, so they just started charging us more.
Mm.
And so she would get the bill and they would ask for 95 and she would pay them the contract rate of 65. So that, we ran into a little bit of problems there.
I had confusion about, 2 lines in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in February 1, 2023, the contract was extended to March 1, 2024.
Yes.
Comparing that to item 1, the term of the contract is hereby extended to February 1st, 2024.
Yeah,
Oh, down there.
Yeah.
Which is it? If it's 2-1, that feels more urgent. I just want to.
Right. Right. So we need to vote on this tonight.
I
Sure.
would say, you know, they'll be, you know, they'll be flexible on
But
that.
no, but this says it's
Right.
March 1st
No.
and that says it's February 1st.
right. It's reviewed by-
So make up your mind. Do we get to pick the later date?
It was originally February 1st, but I looked and I saw March 1st, so it says March 1st.
Okay, so it is February.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We will make this February.
No, don't, well, yeah.
No, I crossed it out because this is my copy.
Yeah, yeah.
Same.
So if it was extended to February 1st, which makes sense because it started in January, this extension, the term of this contract is hereby extended to February, nope. So this is gonna have to be changed to 25. We're looking to extend it to February 1st of 25.
If that's what you guys wanna do. If you wanna know that, yeah.
I don't think we can shop around right now.
No, there's a
It's
lot of
the-
places to shop.
There's not a lot-
No, there's
like I
probably
said,
only
it's
2 or 3
just-
companies that do it, and I
Yeah.
think the rates are all about the same.
They have been better than they were originally. Right, don't you think?
Yes, the main.
Yeah.
The company?
Yeah,
Since it was bought out,
yes, yes,
because I know they've been responsive to our
Harvey
repair
too.
work.
right, which is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had very old equipment that broke down all the time, and the previous company just didn't take care of it. They didn't, Chris would have to call 3 or 4 times. It might take him 3 or 4 days
Mhm.
to show up. But somebody bought it out, and they've been a lot more responsive. With
The whole
theirs.
operation's gotten a lot better.
Mhm.
And,
And then I think we're gonna have to start working on this sooner rather than later to do a 3-year contract, which is what we did initially. When we first did this, it was a 3-year contract with extensions, with 1-year extensions.
One of them was 3 years, one of them was, like 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah, 10 years. First one was 10 years. That was a.
Part of it was 10 and part of it was 3 or 5.
Right.
Yeah.
The extensions.
I feel like a longer duration contract isn't necessarily gonna save anything, because
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
Then
within
you're
the
locked in.
contract that, yeah, but you're locked into a certain extent, but there's always provisions in a contract that they can.
Okay,
raise the
but they're
price.
raising rates.
Which is
So-
what
Which is
happened.
what they did.
So you're basically locking yourself into an adjustable rate for 10 years. I mean,
Right.
that's the way I look at
Right.
it.
Oh, I
At
wouldn't
least
look
if you
for
do,
10 years.
At least if you do, I'm saying even 5 years, I feel like a year, just to play it year by year right now, that at least you have that opportunity if you did want to get out that you can. You're not under contract anything past a year. That I think
Yeah.
that, I mean, you're playing with a variable price, because you're signing up, here's the contract, here's the price. You're really not locked into that price, because there's always provisions in a contract for the business to increase,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, that it's subject to change with 30 days notice or whatever due to market change, whatever it is. So I just don't see the advantage to doing it, to have to sign a contract and just go for, just to play it safe right now, just for a year, and then review it in another year and see where you're at. And maybe there's a new competitor at that time. I know there's really not now. Our
Right.
hands are kind of tied with who we have to choose, but it's just my opinion.
And by that time, we might have better rate information from
Yeah,
other
that's
companies
my
too.
suggestion too, do the year, and then negotiate into what could be a 3-year contract. I mean, the used commodities market's up and down, and, the usage is getting, not to say some war and everything going on, the used commodity market's increasing, because the demand is increasing throughout the world, so.
Or dare I say, do a hybrid and have
Didn't we get the information?
that was part of it.
Yeah, that was part of the study
Yeah.
we did, so.
We need more concrete numbers, but I think residents would love curbside.
I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
It would, but would they want to pay the cost of curbside?
I think a lot of people are paying the cost for curbside, but they're paying it to somebody else.
And that person may not provide all the services that in terms of what they take. A lot of the
Right, but-
curbside companies
Right,
stop
but if you
taking.
did hybrid and did curbside and the transfer station was open, not as many hours as it is now, but some hours, and you could do, textiles and tires and all of that stuff. Because none of the private haulers pick up
They
any
don't,
of that
none
stuff.
of that. I don't even know if they do mattresses anymore.
No, they don't
I don't
do any
think they
of that.
do.
No. People call here all the time, what can they do with a mattress? They could do the transfer station, but there's that company, what is it, Hands Up?
Hands up,
That will
does it?
come to your house for
For
$50
they'll
per
come and
piece
pick it up.
and pick it up. That's a bargain. Not that
And
$50 isn't a lot, it is, but
But
it's
if you don't
still-
have a truck and you need to get
Right.
it, you can't get it to the
Absolutely,
transfer
yep,
station.
yep.
That absolutely is worth it.
Yep.
And that was through our connection with South Shore Recycling.
Mhm.
They made that available to the towns. It's a conversation we're gonna have to have. We'll have to give you the information. We had our, person from DEP do a presentation where he showed us what the cost would be.
I sent him all of that.
You sent
Requiring
all of that?
almost 100% participation
Yeah.
in pickup
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
meet the cost.
yep.
And I wonder if the hybrid option would increase the cost for whatever percentage
Oh.
decided not to, and how would we find
I
out?
don't know.
Right.
Yeah, that I don't know.
That must be a Todd question.
Yeah. I don't know. You should, if you have time, I don't know what your work schedule is, come into the office. I know you did come into Seakill when I was on vacation, but come in and rummage through, because we have a lot of information about
Sure.
various different things.
I'll visit the transfer station,
Todd
see how it
would be
operates
for-
and everything.
I'm getting my sticker tomorrow, so I'll be
Oh,
back.
good. Do you have curbside now?
I do, I use Troop.
I don't know what the companies are because they keep getting gobbled up.
Couldn't said that.
They keep getting gobbled up, so I don't
Troop
know.
is one of the few family-owned ones still yet, and that's gonna be,
Yeah, but there were 5. A couple of years ago, there were
Yeah.
5 different companies that were, and then somebody started buying them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so now I don't know what's available. Because I've done stuff for a long time, I just use the transfer station.
So to come up to speed on this issue, there's an option to extend the existing contract by 1 year
Yes.
and revisit the long-term contract, considering things like a hybrid model and other factors. What does that decision-making process involve? Who over the next year, who would we need to work with to understand that, to inform that decision?
It would be up to the three of you
Hmm.
to do it. I think probably South Shore Recycling.
Social recycling could definitely help us with the cost. We actually 3 or 4 years ago tried to get 5 or 6 towns to bundle in, but none of the companies would give us quotes.
So did she not? She never got any quotes just recently.
Recently, no. She's actually been bugging some companies since October. I was reading in an email today that hasn't gotten back to her about the rates for Situate.
Yeah.
So she's still looking into that.
there's one company that's not even licensed in Massachusetts, right, she said?
But that's something else.
Something else.
Yeah, that they're not, it's not licensing, they're not on the state contract.
Well,
They're telling people they're on the state contract and they're not.
the information, go ahead, Kevin.
I was just gonna say, I mean, one other thing to take into account with what we're discussing with that as well, that we're talking about, going to curbside, and if we're talking about, reduction in income coming into the transfer station as far as stickers,
Right.
as far as bag purchases, and we're talking about reducing potential hours and changing hours of operation and employee contracts and union contracts, and I just want to make everyone aware that there's more
It's not
to it.
just that
not
easy.
as-
It's
Right.
not that easy, and that's
Right.
why
Yeah.
it's
not.
kind of struggled for a long time. Just that it's not a simple decision to make. That you have staffing levels, you have employees there, full-time employees, part-time employees, hours they work, those
And you
type
have
of
a
things.
contingency in Hanson that does not want to see the transfer station closed.
This
But
is
nobody
why,
said the transfer station was closed.
No, but I mean,
No,
if you're
we're-
talking about cutting hours and offering a hybrid,
Right.
it's not as accessible to
Correct.
people.
If we were to talk about that,
If
correct.
we were to talk about it.
If we were to
that's-
talk about that,
Yeah.
They would
those
not.
are all things that kind of go hand in hand. That
Yep.
they all, if you're reducing
Domino,
the amount going in and out of that transfer station, you're reducing
a lot of
the
things.
revenue, you're reducing the
That's right.
staffing, you're reducing, and there's a lot of moving parts to it. That's all. I just want to make sure that's all pointed out.
the one-year extension is just a carryover to a larger contract, 3-year. DEP has on a technical assistant grant that they got to do the study on the transfer station, and that's what that first report was. So more communication with DEP and what the market is doing and the whole trash situation in New England. The trash situation in New England is really bad. There's no airspace left in New England, so everything's going out Midwest. So there's a lot of thought that has to go into the waste and what takes place, the next year or so we get food waste coming up. So the carryover the 1 year into possibly a long-term contract, and in the 1 year study a little bit more and see what's going on.
Because
with
there's
the
a
waste.
lot more waste reduction things that they want to pull out of the trash.
Sure. In current state would be defined as private trash pickup with transfer station. Is that a fair summary?
Say that again?
What's available?
What's available to Hanson
Yes.
residents is
Yeah,
private
they
trash
could-
pickup
Yes,
or transfer.
or
station.
transfer station.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the transfer station, you have to purchase pay-as-you-throw bags
Got it.
for trash.
A sticker and
And bags.
bags as well, yeah. But there is a good majority that do have curbside pickup from private haulers and multiple ones of that. You'll see, I don't know, probably 3 different ones.
So it's probably down to 3 companies now. But I know at one point it was 5.
And as Eileen had said, there is a good amount of people also that do not generate that much trash, and they prefer to just stick with that. They prefer to stick with using the transfer station, and their costs of what they spend every year, it doesn't meet the threshold of paying for, $70,
Private hauler.
$80, whatever it is a quarter now, for a private hauler. So
Hanson has a huge aging population. And those are people that don't generate a lot of trash.
There are younger people, I have a family of 4, we have
You
one
do,
trash
but if
bag
you-
every
if you
week.
look at statistics.
And I still have a
in
private hauler.
Hanson is a higher percentage over 60.
Oh, yes, I totally agree.
So, what it comes down to is there's really no good decision
It fits
for
everybody.
everyone that fits
Right.
all. There's not a one size fits all. So, really what it comes down to from the Board of Health's position, and this is what I've said it before, that the town has to decide whether they want to, fund a service to the town or they want to do what financially makes sense.
Right.
That's what it comes down to, because you're not going to get both. It's either you're doing something that you're providing a service and you may have to put in some money to continue that service, or you do what financially makes sense and you go that route. But these are all the things that have kind of complicated over the years when reviewing it and discussing it. So
Thanks for the background.
So, and the current sticker is a 2-year sticker for $100, and it expires July 1st. So we're at the end of the sticker life, so to speak.
And it's $100 to purchase at any time.
Yes.
During that
So
2
if
years.
you purchase it tomorrow, you are going to be paying for 6.5 months.
Right.
For $100. Yes. There's no discounts of any kind. The only discount is if you wanted a second sticker within the same household, it's $50. But you have to provide the vehicle registrations for both.
And we had, a year ago, maybe? When did we do the increase in the stickers? And we had done it once briefly, like
So,
a small amount, and then we actually really revisited it, reviewed other
That
towns.
would have been 2 years ago.
yeah,
Was it
it'll
2 years
be
ago?
2 years in
We
July.
People got stickers and there was no cost. And the first year,
It was
for
$30,
$10, $30.
$30 for a
People have
3-year
that.
sticker.
For a 3-year sticker. So they were really upset when it became $50 for 2 years.
Yeah, it was reviewed as an overall percentage of the increase, but what the cost was compared to other towns, I mean, it was nowhere even
Oh,
in the
no.
ballpark.
No.
That
No.
what was being charged was like 1990s pricing. I mean, it was.
Or back further.
So what we had done was we tried to review what the costs were and try to be kind of on par and be fair with what the surrounding towns were, so that way the transfer station was a little more funded from the people utilizing it.
Revenue.
And we also had an enterprise fund, and all of the money from the bag sales and the sticker sales went into the enterprise fund. And the last, was it May town meeting?
Mhm.
They did away with the enterprise fund, so now everything comes out of the general fund. to fund
So
the
all of our
transfer
revenues
station.
that we get, we're getting goes into the general
Goes
fund.
into the GF, yep.
We were always having to ask for more money because we never made enough money to cover the costs. And the costs just exploded with recycling. So we'll revisit that. Do we want
Well,
to
back
vote
to,
on this
I was
tonight?
gonna say, back to the contract, did
Yes.
you wanna do something with that, Eileen, or did you?
I don't think anything's gonna change within the next month, so I would have no problem voting on it today.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I think we should do it today.
Hmm. So would someone like to make a motion?
Peter, do you have any comments on it?
I do not have any comments, no.
Okay.
Don't forget, you have a third member over there.
Oh, no, I just said, does anybody wanna make a motion?
No, I meant as far as, you know,
Oh, no,
kinda
no,
just general
no.
discussion on the contract, and if there was any
No.
real concerns as to not taking a vote on it today.
Nope, just the change in the date, on the contract itself was the only concern I had.
Because I know you had looked at it.
Mhm.
Okay. So back to my question.
Well, if there's an open motion, did you make a motion?
Nobody made a motion
No.
on the contract
I'm
yet. No,
getting ahead
that's-
of myself.
No, because I actually said, does anyone want to make a motion? And,
So 2-1 to January.
this is like a puzzle.
So if nobody has any objection to making a decision on this, I will make a motion to extend the waste disposal agreement between the town of Hanson and New Bedford Waste Services LLC. Extend the contract through, February 1st, 2025? Is that the date we had?
Yes.
So until February 1st, 2025 to extend the contract.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Stickers. So I we were talking about stickers because it's going to be that time again coming up for July 1st for stickers. Last month at South Shore Recycling's meeting, we actually had a vendor come in that provides a service where they do stickers, they do, was it plates? Where they have
Yeah,
a plate
plate
reader.
reader.
He had a range of options. So I was suggesting that he come in next month and explain to us what they have to offer and what the cost is. Because it's all hands on deck when it comes time to do stickers. It's not Teresa's most favorite thing to do. But if we stop doing it, last time we did it was like $90,000 the revenue? It was, I remember, it's $90,000. That was to cover the 2 or 3 years, but it's a significant amount of money to not do the stickers that then we would have to go to town meeting and ask for. So.
Yeah, I mean, the stickers are contributing to our revenue to fund the dump. It's, I mean,
Right.
it's basically, it's coinciding with the bags themselves. If
Yes.
we got rid of stickers, we'd have to really figure out, the bag increase and come up with that revenue that, we're making a lateral move. If
Right,
we could do
right.
that, I mean, that'd be great to simplify it more, but at the same time, you have people that just maybe use recycling and they're not using bags, so that sticker also covers you with the recycling
Right.
and that stuff too. So
So that,
these are all the difficulties that we've had with trying to really make a
Right.
one size fits all decision.
Right.
That it's been just kind of tough to navigate.
And, it's worth considering what's the problem with the current approach. Is there a problem with the current approach?
I don't think there's a problem. I think it's it's just try to make it as efficient as possible and streamlined with continuing it. If there's a way we can do it better, but I don't think current approach is really an issue with having a sticker, having a fee, a 2-year lifespan of the sticker, and then paying for the bags.
I did read that there was a net loss with the current model of 172. Did I read that incorrectly somewhere?
was it a loss
previous
or
minutes.
revenue that we didn't?
No, I think
Generate?
that was on the,
Transfer station running at a 172.
that was on the thing that Todd showed us.
Yes.
On the current model.
Mhm.
Oh.
That's what it was showing.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it's not, yeah, and I would wonder if, there's a $90,000 revenue potential with stickers. Is that,
So the whole thing with the sticker was we got all the money up front. So it's a 2-year sticker, but we all got it 90% of it
right,
in the first year.
right,
First
So then you
year.
get nothing for the
Mm.
most part.
And at this point, it would all go into general revenue anyway.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But it's better than the nothing that we got
Right.
prior.
What was that company called? Bonsai
Bonsai Logic.
Logic. I couldn't remember.
Bonsai Logic.
If you go into the DEP study that Todd did, and you look at the transfer station operation, he said they can figure it at 125 per year to make it just about break even, and that was the model he used. And you can call him anytime, like I say, he was on a technical assistant grant, and I think it keeps going on until we stop using him, so, as far as on the grant, because he is our DEP representative, and you can basically talk to him anytime, but he did that model thing on a grant that last chair had gotten.
And he's extremely knowledgeable.
On the company that you had mentioned that was handling stickers,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely worth, if they want to come give us a small presentation or something and give us costs of what that would look like. But I think what we're probably going to find is that that's going to go against the intent as to why we keep the stickers and we do them in-house, because we're giving that to an outside company that we're not going to have oversight on issuance of stickers or possibly replacements maybe. And then also obviously they're not going to do that for nothing. That's going to take away from our revenue. So if it's taking away so much that it defeats the purpose to even have the sticker to begin with, I don't really see that as a lateral move. But I think it's worth having a conversation.
Right, and I think
but I think that's probably what we're going to find, that it's not going to financially make sense to retain the stickers and be paying a third party to handle that part of the operation for us.
if it is significantly more, because we have a general idea of what the sticker costs now for us to
Manufacture.
manufacture.
Yeah.
We're paying for that now anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right now, we're not paying
I
anybody
used,
to,
I used the grant money to pay for it.
right, the RDP?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so this funding source would be the same. Wouldn't make sense for us to go
But
with something that's double.
Right. But you're talking about a company that's essentially going to handle. We're going to have a link on our website that issuance, if they want to buy one online.
I don't necessarily know what they're offering. I think he has a range of things that he can offer.
Like I said, I think it's worthwhile having a conversation of seeing a presentation or looking at some costs of what that could potentially look like. But I just think, with added services, you have added costs. And with added costs, you're taking away from revenue that we currently have. So I don't know if it's necessarily going to work, but it's worth having a conversation.
Yeah, definitely to find out what the cost is.
So Arlene, will you call them and see if
I
they
can
can
call
come in
them.
for February?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that wouldn't make sense to increase our cost. And I know that there's a cost associated already with the stickers. It's just the manpower time. getting the stickers out.
Yeah, because during stickering, I literally can't do anything else other than sticker.
And who do we currently use for production of the stickers? Printing company, I'm assuming.
Norwood Printing.
I'm curious as to what,
It's roll.
have we put that out, like, to price check that at all?
No,
Or we just constantly use
really
them?
not that much money.
Yeah.
I'll look back, but it's, you know, like,
Yeah, I'd be curious to
it's
review
like
that
a
and just
couple
see if,
$100.
you know, yeah,
And the person that owns that company is a Hanson resident.
okay.
What do we run between 90 and 100 stickers? Yeah, 900 and 1,000 stickers in general. How many do we issue?
Oh, no.
No, because we have, what, 2,000 households?
Yeah, hold on one second.
And then there's people that have 2 or 3.
I only did that based on the $90,000 of revenue.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah, hang on one second. I can tell you exactly how many we've given out.
she'll tell you.
We are on sticker 1,945.
1,900 stickers. That's good.
But again,
but that's
some of
not
them
But
are,
that's,
Necessarily
like my
households.
house, we have 2.
That's
So-
not necessarily households, right?
right, so,
That's
right, 'cause
including
this,
probably replacements
Everybody.
every
this
occasion.
first
That
sticker,
does.
second sticker, some stickers have been voided because they got a new windshield or
Car
they
accident,
sold the vehicle
Yeah.
or whatever.
replacements,
Yep,
second cars.
second cars, which is only $50.
There's a handful of people that have 3 stickers.
Yep.
Not many, but there are some.
So that might be somewhere down in the 1,200 to 1,100 range.
Right. Maybe not.
Lower.
No, I don't think it's lower than that.
I don't know. I
would
could
say
find out.
right.
I could figure it out.
You know, it's
1,000.
Yeah, I don't think you've done 100 replacements.
I don't know. I'd have to look. I can't even guess. Because it's been over almost 2 years, so
And we know we're not gonna get all the households, so. There might be a few things that you've signed, but the rest is up to you. Okay, so I will, call him and ask if he can come to the meeting. And maybe even send us information in advance.
Mhm.
So do we wanna do the agent's report, or is there anything else first? We have no updates, nothing else going on.
No, we'll do, how many of you are aware that the dog pound is gonna be reactivated at the transfer station? They're working on that now. We don't really have the dog officers, we have a contract with any other town right now as far as roadkill and stuff like that. And they're looking to, take over the dog pound again. We had meetings there, they're looking at it and, seeing what it's gonna take to fix it up again, to actually make it a dog pound. There's issues with it that, have to be straightened out. They're gonna, I think they're gonna talk about it tonight at the selectmen's meeting about, what has to take place with it. It needs to be cleaned out and everything. The building has to be secure. The building's not really secure. It's open up to animals. We are gonna cut trees. We had talked about previous meetings, cutting trees around the kiosk, excuse me, the trip ticket kiosk, all that sumac that's growing around it and is kind of encased it. We agreed the tree cutter's gonna go in there and cut that, probably in the next week or so, because the whole thing was being, the solar panel was being covered over it during the daytime with the trees leaning over it. And the trees in between the, recycling containers, the oil container, and against the building on the side of the, entrance to the volcano. That's gonna be our responsibility of cutting. The town will take over the rest of the cutting around the building and the outside of the chain link fence. They're talking, they'll be putting a package together, I think, either, I'm not sure if it's gonna be tonight or the next second meeting on what has to take place. Currently Hanson's gonna have to create a dog pound. They got no other choice to do it. They have an agreement with another town, but it's, 45 minutes away from them to get there. And most of the time, when you have something to bring down, they're full and can't take anything. So that's why they're reactivating the dog pound again. So that'll be an ongoing project for the next few months. So that's what's taking place with that. we're trying to get, highway to go in there with some recycle in that one area that's always wet. I mean, everybody's always complaining about it being wet and the trucks are getting stuck with it, so I've talked to highway about that. People suggesting pave it, but, when you have roll-off trucks, you really don't wanna put them on pavement, cause they break the pavement up, so, they should be on concrete. When the roll-offs come off the truck, they should be on concrete instead of on asphalt, because they break asphalt, so. Then, talk about that, people complain about that somewhat, but, as far as projects, that's pretty much it. Main thing is the transfer station is a topic, is a subject all the time, going on all the time. We have a couple other issues there, but, we'll talk about that at a later date. Some of the other things we're doing, the land use boards and, inspection boards have been getting together here. I told you meet every Monday morning, to discuss different projects. Today, one of the projects concerned, we did have a meeting this afternoon, with Meadowbrook Estates on Zero County Road, to review their operation and how they're doing their job, and, re-reviewing what the review engineers discussed, and, our concerns with it as far as, the amount of fill going in and how they started the project. So, we're going to set up another meeting with them. We're doing it with all the subdivisions. We're doing it with Ridge Project, Cushing Trails, and we have ongoing things with Digital Village. So that's one of the many things that we're working on. Still, I believe, I haven't got it yet, but I believe the EPA was coming to Hanson this month as far as Superfund site. I haven't seen anything on that lately. I've got that at least
The
tonight.
transfer station?
No, I'm going to the EPA on the Superfund site, the fireworks site.
Oh, firework, okay,
Yeah.
the fireworks site.
Let me read anything about that. I've asked Lisa, I'm supposed to meet with her tomorrow, so check on that. But that should take place in the next few months, hopefully. We've been doing, some of the food inspections and stuff, some a little bit. Some kitchens aren't open, some kitchens aren't being used. So, categorizing some of that stuff. We've had places that close and places that are opening. So reviewing a lot of the permit stuff. We've come across a couple of contracts that aren't really contracts with certain businesses. So some people are using an old contract as far as grease trap cleaning and septic pumping. So we're looking into that. I'm looking into that with them. So we're trying to coordinate some inspections, the food inspections, along with the fire department and building inspector, so that we're all in there at one time and we can, bounce off things with other guys, other departments. So that's moving along fairly good. We've got like 4 or 5 places that aren't really open yet. We figured would be open, but we'll work on that. And just general day-to-day functions. The office is really busy, and hopefully things are going good. Not many, very few complaints. I think we're down to like 2 housing complaints, and the biggest thing is just these projects going on. The Zero County Road, now that started, I'm sure we get complaints every day about that. So overall, it's pretty much what I've got. One other big thing was the oatmeal recall. That was fairly large.
Bars. They were bars.
Bars.
Yeah.
Bars.
Oh.
That was fairly large. Well, it didn't extend quite a
Quaker.
bit. It was, the biggest
I
recall
missed that one.
Only because my kid eats, that's like one of his main
Yeah,
food
it's
groups.
one of the biggest recalls ever in the country. So, and only a couple of people are out of compliance, and because of a power failure, CVS still had the product on the shelf, so they had to remove the products. I went to Shaw's. Shaw's had theirs all boxed up and ready to be shipped back out. Dollar Tree, fortunately, doesn't buy that stuff, so they didn't have any on the shelves. But they were still under the recall on that other fruit puree product. wearing a banana.
Oh, the pouches, applesauce pouches.
Applesauce pouches.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
I knew about those, I don't use them, but I
That's,
knew about that one.
The store, even though we got another notice from the FDA that the store still had some of that stuff, but it's all been taken out of the store, shipped back, so. But, the recalls, I mean, we never got recalls like this before. Most of the time, the stores handle it, but, actually saying, go out and check the shelves, so. And to me, it seems like the recalls are getting more and more. And that's, that's about the report. Hey, well, the middle school septic system, that's gonna be another thing. We'll come back, so
That was gonna be one of my questions, what this.
Okay,
it's,
the name, I can't read what it says, I don't know where Morton Street is, but it says something stuff.
Oh, Sydney stuff.
Sydney
It's a
I
home.
thought that was why. I wasn't
Yeah.
real-
I
Sydney
couldn't figure
stuff.
out, is that something new?
Yes.
it's a residential kitchen,
Mhm.
Sydney stuff.
Mhm.
I could not read that it said Sydney. I just knew it was stuff. You wrote it,
Well,
so
yeah, because it's spelled Sydnee, Sydney. It's not the other Sydneys.
Yes, okay, that was my question about that.
Yeah.
I just couldn't figure out the name.
So that's,
You
a month in a nutshell.
Thank you.
I only had one question in that summary, Gil.
Yeah.
What was the nature of the visit of the DEP to fireworks site that you referenced?
Oh, that,
Oh,
I think I explained to you, EPA is supposed to be coming in January. I thought they were coming to Hanson in January 11th or something, but I haven't seen anything about it yet.
I get something on Facebook, but I don't pay attention
When
to it on
you
the
say
fireworks.
coming in, you say
To a meeting,
to a meeting.
with the selectmen, an open meeting with the selectmen.
Open meeting and select.
We're in joint meetings with Hanover because of the
Mhm.
proximity and sort of we're on the edge of the site and some stuff in Hanson is contaminated, but not as much as in Hanover. So in the beginning, we weren't invited into those meetings and we didn't know what was going on, so. But I did see something about a meeting coming up in
Yeah.
January on the fireworks.
So the select board office has been the point of contact
Yes.
for them?
Yeah, select board, and the monthly meetings come to conservation and myself in the monthly meetings, along with Lisa and Al, so.
So do you want to tonight or tomorrow follow up with them to find
Yeah,
out?
I gotta talk
if
to her
they've
tomorrow. I
had
gotta
any
find
recent
out
contact?
because I haven't seen any email. And I thought Hanover was gonna have one this month too, so.
I did see
Usually
one, I
we
just have
get
to find
something,
it.
usually I'll get something from the Attorney General's office or something, but I'm just gonna. Hang on, so that's
If you're
about,
done, I have some questions too. On the dog pound, I'm assuming everything that's in there is gonna come out.
Yes.
All the equipment, all the different things. What about the kiosk, the needle kiosk?
that's probably gonna be relocated to the side where the,
Swap shop?
shop is, just,
Okay.
that area will be cleaned out too,
And
so.
where are we gonna find to put the equipment, snow blowers, lawnmowers?
Most of that's gonna be thrown out. He's gotta come to a decision what he wants to keep and what he's not gonna keep because,
Yeah, we've had that conversation where I cleaned that whole area out and I noticed it was
Yeah,
starting to
so
fill back
that's-
up again. And
that's
then
okay.
we have, the stuff we have stored in there. Compost bins. Are they gonna go in with the, on the other side?
no, they'll go in that storage container that's sitting beside the building.
Okay.
That's what
All right.
that surplus storage goes in there.
And the selectmen, I'm assuming, are paying for whatever upgrades and improvements that's
Yes.
needed. I mean, there's probably a couple things in there that need to go up. There's a big desk in there, in the room where the needle kiosk is. It's been there forever. I'm sure that stuff, there's stuff in there that's gonna need to be cleaned out.
Yeah, that's all gonna be cleaned up. Yeah, it's all gonna be cleaned out. I mean, they're getting prices on different things now. And that's gonna go on the selectman dog office, ACO.
Yeah, it's a huge space, and
It is.
I think what they have left in there is in decent condition, the cages. It just, all the crap needs to be cleaned
The
out.
cages might have to replace because you can't,
They're old.
they're old. It's not humane to have a dog in a rusty cage, so.
So from the sounds of it, that we're not talking about funds coming out of our budget. We're not talking about, this isn't really gonna be oversight on our part or under our jurisdiction. We're more or less just going to allow the use of a portion of our facility.
Yeah,
Is that right?
that was
Yeah,
originally the
the-
dog pound, and
yeah.
so they
Yeah.
let us use it, now
Because
they take it back.
that person falls under this board of selectmen.
Okay, so that person is not affiliated with transfer station,
Mm-mm.
we're basically just working alongside of them, and it will be their responsibility to safeguard their portion of the building and access.
And whatever repairs that they need,
Mhm.
it's on them.
Sounds fun to me.
All we're doing is cutting their trees, I really
No,
talked about.
I just wanna make sure that we understand whose responsibility.
Right,
is
right,
what.
there's no financial responsibility
Yeah,
for
that's
us.
all. I
That's
mean,
your
I just-
instruction is
Yeah.
select board.
Yeah, nope.
I have no issue.
And I had another question about the emergency equipment, emergency preparedness equipment that was at the old fire station. Where is that going to? Because my understanding is the fire station is gonna be rented out by the state police.
It's at the old fire station.
It's still there?
It's always been there.
I was told that stuff was gonna need to be moved.
No.
You've not heard that?
Well, someone said something about it, but no, it's staying there. It's always gonna stay there. It's the fire department's making a storage area for it all there. I heard that before, but no, it's there. We bought most of it there.
So they've not told us that we need to move it.
Oh, no one's gonna tell us that.
Okay.
No, it's there. I mean, it's always been there. In fact, it was all centralized there a couple of years ago.
I know, except for the cots, which we never found.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
All the signs from here were moved over there.
yeah.
I was told that all that stuff was gonna need to be moved. We'll see. Let's shake steps.
I know that the fire department's putting shelves in our storage room.
There's no storage in this town
No, there isn't.
for anything.
We're busting at the seams in this building.
I know, we used to have a closet over here, they kicked us out of there. Then we went down to the basement, they kicked us out of there. So I'm just wondering, are they gonna kick us out of the third location? Well, we'll see what happens. Those were my questions. I don't know if anybody else has questions. Kevin?
No, I don't think so.
Questions?
No? Then I would entertain, anything else we need to discuss that we've missed? I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting, 5:07 PM.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.